When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond.
I'd rather go too far than not far enough. The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment, it's easier.
The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. It's going to be, there's going to be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are going to want to do it.
When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction, it's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
If you want results, and then you basically just catch yourself slacking off and don't do anything about it, then it kind of sounds like you don't really want those results, you know?
What could you be if you dedicated every fucking day of your life for the next 20 years to that thing? What could you be? Here's the answer. Anything you fucking want. That's what you could be. Ask me how I know, because that's what I've done. And you could do it too.
And that's your new norm. That's your new norm. So then it's like breathing. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize what trying is and what trying is not.
I'm unbeatable. I can't be beat. It's impossible. You can dent me. You can damage me. You're never ever going to beat me. I'm totally and completely, unequivocally unbeatable.
Master the 3 W's. You got to want it, you got to work it, then you got to win it. Now, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you're going to work it. Then if you do those two, you're going to win.
Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year, you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
It's really just a journey of evolution every day. It's just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
People want to find their passion, but you don't find it, you create it. And you create it by getting good at something. And to get good at stuff, you start by doing something you suck at. Then you get good, then you like it. Then people ask how you found your passion. Answer, by starting when you sucked and not giving up.
Losing is not an option with me. Not being successful is not an option. When you make not being successful, it's not an option for you. That's when your life is gonna change. Some of y'all are complacent and you cool with not being successful. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with having a team that's not successful. I'm not cool with not having an offense or defense or special teams that's not successful. That's not an option to be defeated. I don't live my life like that. These coaches don't live their lives like that. You shouldn't live your life like that. And if you find yourself around something that's consistently losing, you need to disconnect. Or you need to really look in the mirror and find out, are you the darn problem?
Have you heard the story of the pottery class? There's a teacher and he's got 2 classes that he teaches. And one class, he says, the only assignment for this whole semester is that you come back with a perfect clay pot. That's it. That's the assignment. The other class, he says, your objective is to make the most total quantity of clay pots, and you'll be measured by how many pots you make. And at the end of the quarter, the pots that came from the team that had to just make sheer volume, not only did they make more pots, but the quality of all of their pots was better compared to the teams that only had to make one. And it just underlines the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life, which is that volume negates luck, is that you can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out.
Patience. Patience is a skill we must master. Patience is one of the most valuable skills a human being must master. And I'm working hard to master it, and I feel I'm getting there, so time will show all of them.
It's all about focus. I don't care who you are, where you're from, doesn't matter. It's having a focus and having a purpose. Now, you wake up every single day to get better today than you were yesterday. Now, it doesn't matter what you are. You're a basketball player, a hockey player, golf player, painter, right? It doesn't matter, right? You try to reach your full potential by getting better every single day, and that's the quest.
I don't think it's more noble to treat your pursuits so sternly that the only positive element is the end result and absolutely none of the experience. Things will go well, you will figure it out, just like you always have. So actually go and seek some joy.
So if your false identity says that you're a loser, you're a deadbeat, you're not deserving, you're a failure, you're not worthy, you will find evidence in the world to reinforce that. If your identity then says, I'm a winner, I'm deserving, then I will always find evidence in the world to find that. And so I'm here to tell you this. It starts off with rewriting your story. Be specific about how you want your life to look. And then once you write that down, go, what are the habits that this motherfucker needs to have in order to bring that story to life? When you bring that story to life, the false identity sheds and the new identity is developed.
You have to be selfish to be selfless. Okay, if you're not where you need to be, if you don't have the proper energy that you need, if you're not in shape the way you should be in, if you're not living the standard that you know you should live, you don't have as much to give to other people. It's just reality. So for you to be able to truly serve other people, you have to get to a point where you are taking care of yourself and your own shit is in order. Otherwise, whatever you give them is going to be less than what you could give them anyway. And quite honestly, you're doing both yourself and them a disservice by not holding these boundaries that we're talking about.
Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself?
Sometimes things are gonna be so tough. Stop fighting it. Stop trying to understand it. Just survive it. Take all that energy and just survive it. Like, bro, day by day, moment by moment, situation by situation. Like my dogs say, be where your feet are. Just survive it, right? And then you're gonna get to a place, you're gonna be on top of the mountain one day, and you're gonna say, man, I see exactly why I had to face and go through that.
If you wanna get somewhere specific, then you better take control of the wheel and you better drive that car where you want it to go. Grab the steering wheel and drive your life where you want it to be. Do not just let things happen. You have to be default aggressive and make things happen.
People are so terrified of failure that they don't even stop to think that, oh, if I could just not worry about embarrassing myself, then I could get in the game, throw the punches, look foolish, but I will get better and better.
There's a very small group of people in the world that the world does not understand who don't know how to stop. Whatever you tell them, whatever you give them, they don't know how to stop. They're gonna get what they want, or they're gonna, this line goes, die trying. They're gonna give their best to figure out exactly what they want in life. And it's gonna be an interesting journey. If you're one, you're gonna enjoy. If you're watching it, you're gonna enjoy the movie.
But they're jealous of what you've got. They're not jealous of how you got it. Who would you have to be to do that? And we're all chasing something, right? I think we're chasing imposter syndrome. As you level up, you should feel like, do I belong here? This show's much bigger than it was when I was last on. Congratulations, you. Why is it bigger? Well, because you pushed yourself and you worked harder.
Everybody else quits when things get hard. Everybody else quits when they get sick, or they have an excuse, or they get in a funk, or they get, whatever. If you're able to operate even when things are hard, you can't be fucked with.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never fucking quit, in the end you will succeed.
You have a 100% chance of bothering somebody on earth by existing. And so if every action you take has somebody who will hate it, then it kind of cancels everything out and you might as well just do whatever you're gonna do anyways.
Being uncommon amongst uncommon is really about yourself. It's you against yourself, it's not you against them. Once you become a Navy SEAL or whatever you become, a big CEO, you're now common again. So everybody looks at these guys as uncommon. But once you become one, we're all guys again. So how do you separate yourself from the best? You're gonna piss some people off when you do that.
When you go through a phase in your life where nothing's going your way, your own family doesn't believe in you, they're saying things behind your back, your friends are like, that guy's not gonna do anything. And it's just annoyingly challenging. And some people spread rumors about you. He's all about this, she's all about this. And you're like, oh my God, this sucks, but that's not true. What do I do? If you think you want to get to the next level of whatever life may be, you got to get battle tested. You whatever phase you're in, whatever things you're going through, that doesn't make sense. If you graduate this next phase of being battle tested, there's good things around the corner for you.
Losers stay losers by never being willing to lose. Everyone loses before they win. Everyone falls the first time. Your first business is very unlikely to be your last business. The first product you have will be a product that you'll be embarrassed of years from now. But what's important is having the product, getting the product, building the product, launching the product, shooting the shot.
You better know how to be anti-fragile. You better know how to pivot and make fast decisions. Because if you think that it's gonna go exactly to the timeline that you put on your marker board, and if it doesn't meet that expectation, you think that you're cursed and that you're destined to fail, you should just pull the plug and go bankrupt, then you deserve to fail. You deserve to live like a peasant. You deserve to just be on that hamster wheel of life. Because success is reserved for the few who are willing to push through stress and adversity, setbacks. That's who success is reserved for. And it's not guaranteed, by the way. You could do everything right and success is still not guaranteed.
When I was in my 20s, I wanted to be a millionaire. And when I was a millionaire, I wanted to be in my 20s. The idea that my future self would trade all the money he had to be poor in 20 again made me really reanalyze how I saw living life in the moment. If I literally in the future will value my present moment more than the achievement of the thing that I'm seeking right now in the present, then something's off.
Have faith that whatever stresses that you're facing right now will lead to a greater version of you in the future. The challenge that you're facing is a gift. Leaning into the discomfort as if you invited it through the door, saying thank you for the opportunity to learn and reflect because it's making you better.
Every day that you don't do work, you're going backwards.
The price of success is not linear. It will always change. It is expensive. It is timely. It will cost you in many, many ways. And if you are willing to push through, you will experience it.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
Most important thing is that you become the best version of yourself. That is the key. Get better every single day. Are you better today than you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. That's Mamba mentality.
You're a little better today than you were yesterday. You wake up tomorrow, let's be better tomorrow than you were today. That level of hunger was just always inspiring.
But you're always gonna get resistance in your life. There's always gonna be resistance to get to the next place. You wanna do anything in your life, you're gonna face resistance because that resistance is what opens you up to realizing you can't do it on your own, that there's a more powerful force in the world than you.
If you don't like their life, don't listen to what they say. Like, don't take their advice if you don't like what you see. If everyone around you has a life you don't want, then don't listen to any of their advice. You have to put blinders on because there is a period of time where you're not going to be successful enough for the next tier of friends, but you're too different from the friends that you used to have. And so that middle path is very lonely. But the good thing about loneliness is you've got time. And right now, time's what you need because you got to learn stuff. You got to get the skills so you can start trading that for more and more money. And then you can take the money and trade that for more money. But in the beginning, you just have time. And that's what you have to spend.
It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. It's going to take fucking a long ass time. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 times as long as you think it's going to take. Along the way, you're going to lose all your fucking friends. You're probably going to lose some significant others too along that way. You're going to get made fun of. You're going to get bullied. You're going to get harassed. You're going to get attacked on the internet daily. You're going to struggle. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to owe people money. You're going to fuck up your bank account. There's going to be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're going to make it. And those days sometimes last for months. Nobody's going to relate to you. No one's going to understand why you're doing it. Everybody's going to question it. You're going to have to answer it every single time, and it's going to piss you off. And bro, this is the life that you're choosing. Like, you're choosing it, so you can't be surprised that it's hard. This is what the fuck you're signing up for.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want?
God never sends me where I would be comfortable. He always sends me where I'm uncomfortable. That it's my job to make things comfortable. So no matter what life presents you, don't stop doing what you've been called to do.
At some point, everything's gonna go south on you. Everything's gonna go south and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end. Now you can either accept that or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem, then you solve the next one.
The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.